If you're catching the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know you're here. And it's about a few minutes before 7, and I'm going to get started at 7. So go grab your protein drink if you need to, go to the bathroom, and then meet me back here in a few minutes. Good morning. I got a frog in my throat. Good morning. I don't know how many people will join us considering I never do this on Fridays. How are y'all this morning? I just thought I would get on here a little early. The Netherlands? It's kind of cool to know I'm dancing in the Netherlands. Hey, JC. So, I woke up this morning. Can I just say shout out to all the people with arthritis? I know that y'all are waking up from this weather hurting all over. Oh my God. God love you. But you know what? just like my chiropractor says, and I wrote in my post this morning, come here.
What?
I want you to tell him something.
Tell me what?
I want you to tell him what you were singing at 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh, national anthem?
I'm over here dying, hurting, like about to cry, and all of a sudden I hear, what were you
I was humming.
He was humming the national anthem at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm like, what the? Why are you humming the national anthem?
Because it's in my head at 6 o'clock in the morning because I hear it on the way to work.
It's like, you weirdo. Anyway, so I was sitting over here. My joints are killing me. And all of a sudden I hear it humming to the national anthem, and I'm just like busting out laughing because I'm like, why are you doing that? It's 6 o'clock in the morning, you big old weirdo. They're saying hey to you.
Hey.
Won't you come over here and go live with me?
No, I'm good.
Please, I'll be your best friend.
No, you ain't.
I'll be your best friend if you come.
For the past 20 years, you ain't been.
Do you know how much effort these followers, subscribers put into our page?
Oh, yeah.
And the least you can do is get your jackleg self over here and show your cute little face.
I did.
That's the least you could do for these followers, Shane.
I got to catch up on some loving with these puppies.
I'm going to tell you, I think that if you took over my page, I think I'd go viral.
Oh, yeah.
I do. They love you. I think they love you more than they love me.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Shane.
Thanks for all the support.
Come here for just a second. What? Just come sit beside me and be my friend.
Sitting.
Come sit right here and be my friend.
All right.
Sit right here. Just sit right here.
You got like 900 watts of lights on.
Shane, that's your fault.
You're blind somebody.
Just sit there and be pretty.
I'm going to need my sunglasses. What I'm going to need.
You want mine?
No. I can still see.
I have this Hollywood makeup mirror that sits in front of me. And so it's like, so that's why he's saying that. Stephanie's having surgery this morning.
Hey,
so
congratulations, good luck. Hope it goes well.
Oh, I
don't know what it's for. But
her neck, she has, I don't know if it's the same problem as me, but she's getting plates and fusions and all that in her neck too. And that is Kayla's aunt.
Oh.
Okay, we have a few minutes before 7. Yeah, I woke up. This joint right here, I don't know if y'all can see. You see how swollen this is right here? This finger is about to kill me. So in the morning times is when I usually shoot Shane a bird because he's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, like I want to shoot in the bird. And this morning, that one joint.
That's what she gets for shooting me birds.
That one joint.
Fingers rotting off with all the meanness in her.
That one joint hurt so bad. I can't shoot him a bird this morning when he's singing the night. Oh, okay. Hang on. I got my cream right here. I didn't even think about it.
What is?
Yeah. I am a mani butt. Listen, y'all would be shooting him a bird too if you live with him, because when his butt is getting up, when we can sleep in a little bit.
Sleep in.
Shane, they want to know how the ladder went.
Oh, the step for the boat.
Yes.
Oh, it went good. He liked it. Took it home.
You know what I was thinking?
He's gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna make a. I've got some round stock to make the handle, so when he steps up on it, he can hold on to a short handle to get in the boat.
So I was thinking it was going to look like a ladder with the.
No.
But when you made it with the big
squares,
yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's seen him an idea that he wants to do for the handle. So
Him,
we're gonna put a handle on it.
This guy is friends with Shane. They used to teach together at Shades Valley, which is a high school. How many years did y'all teach together?
12, 13.
Yeah. So he was the electrician and Shane was the welder. So they had a technical school. And Shane, how many schools did you do?
You talking about feeder schools?
Feeder?
Yeah, they feed into where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the schools in Jefferson County. So we had five high schools that fed into us.
My ceiling fan came from Lowe's. I really liked it. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
It took a minute for Shane to figure out how to put it together, though, because it's different.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Shane is
instructions. We don't need instructions.
Shane,
all we need
I was fixing to say that.
We just need pictures.
When we get something that has to be put together, he lays it all out and he looks at everything. And then he throws the instructions away and he looks at everything. And then he'll put a screw in the wrong place and then realize it. And then he says a couple of how do I put it?
Unprofessional words, maybe.
Some very unprofessional words that is said when he realizes that he screwed it up and has to take it back apart. And it's never his fault. It's the way the person built it and designed it. They're terrible. And so then after maybe one or two times of jacking it up, he finally gets it put together and never looks at the instructions. This stuff is sticky. Anyway, it's really funny.
That is normal vocabulary. Judy has never grown up in a normal vocabulary setting.
My mother said bad words, and I don't think my dad said bad words, but my mom said bad words. I just don't like to say bad words. I feel like I always felt like I needed to set good examples for my children.
I was setting good examples.
Shane.
Those are good examples.
Shane, your kids have filthy mouths to this day.
Hey, that ain't my problem. That's theirs.
But you know what's crazy is my kids have filthy mouths, and they weren't even allowed to say the word "shut up" in my house, and they have filthy mouths.
See, that's because you traumatize them and you live and you try to keep them in a bubble.
Shane, not allowing your kids to say a bad word is not putting your kids in a bubble. Really?
Should have been a better mom.
No, to this day, if my kids say bad words in front of me, I'm like, I cringe. I'm like so mad. I want to pull out the belt and spank their tail.
Usually I'm pretty good until I get agitated.
Shame.
When I get agitated, it'll fly.
And tell them how often you get agitated.
Once a week.
He gets agitated.
Every day that Judy's working on a farm and I have to come home and fix everything that she has done.
That is not true. What have you had to fix that I've jacked up lately?
Have you not seen the farm out there?
What have I jacked
what
up?
it looks like right now?
What do you mean?
Have you not seen?
Have you seen? Okay. Do you know what I'm having to do to shut the pigs up? Y'all, Shane put this gate.
Your pigs tore it off twice, Judy. Until I get the rest of the wooden fence up, I'm not working on it.
I'm having to get my lead rope
and tie it around it to keep it locked up, because in some of the guns, I could weld a hinge on a pole, and they get their nose and their body up under it, and they will keep working, pushing up on the gate, and they will work that thing till they break the pins or the hinges. And so the only way that I have figured out just to leave it alone until I get the rest of my wooden fence put up, and then I'll make a good gate that hopefully they won't tear up.
We need not such a heavy gate. You know, I'm dealing with arthritis.
I'm hoping that after boyfriend is fixed.
I hadn't told y'all.
We ain't got to worry about no gate.
Okay, let me tell y'all this real quick. Okay, first of all, it's a little after 7, and I'll tell you why I decided to do. I'm gonna tell you real quick. Remind me to tell you about boyfriend. So I started my Sneed's Farmhouse. The name started December the 9th, 2019. That is the day that my Facebook page was created. And I actually named it Sneed's Zoo. And my son called me on the phone. He was, "Mother, you do not have a zoo." I was like, "What do I have?" And he goes, "It's called a farmhouse." And I was like, "Oh, I thought it was a zoo because I had animals." He's like, "Mom, you don't have zoo animals. You have a farmhouse." So then I went and changed the name to Sneed's Farmhouse. Okay. It started in 2019, December the 9th. And this morning, okay, I have been working really hard. I am one of these people. I am trying to go more towards social media versus open to the public. And the reason is because I am on the struggle bus physically. Okay. I heard every single day, and it is like hard. And so I have been working really hard towards building my page, building a group, because I wanted to be able to pay for the farm through social media. But I really didn't think it would ever happen, to be honest. I didn't. And then there is one goal that I have not been able to meet, even though I have 31,000 followers on Facebook. And I'm talking strictly Facebook right now, but I've not been able to meet this one goal to save my life. Like you have to have 60,000 viewed live minutes in 60 days. And no matter what I do, I cannot meet the goal. I've tried to go live. I've tried to do little 3-minute videos. I'm like, okay, I'm just not good at this. Like I'm not Jason. I'm not Lester. Like I'm Judy. And this morning I woke up and I have met my goal. And I don't get, like, for the past 5 years, I've not gotten paid for one live that I do. And this morning I woke up and I had tears in my eyes because you guys have helped me meet that goal today. And so I'm officially getting paid on Facebook for my lives. And I feel like I needed to come on live to tell you thank you, because it's nothing that I've done. It's what you've done. And I wanted to tell you thank you for helping me get through these hard months with taking my dad to radiation and not worrying about figuring out how to make ends meet with my farm. But it is a big deal to meet this goal, because you would think 31,000 our 30,000 followers that I would meet it. And I haven't been able to meet it. And when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my. So you guys have showed up and have helped me. So, I always worry about y'all a little bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because like sometimes, people donate to my farm, or people, I don't know, send me gifts, and I'm so thankful for it, but I sit here and worry about the people that can't. Does that make sense? Like I worry about the people that sit there and go, I wished I could have donated to her farm for Christmas. Like that's what I worry about. I do. I worry about you because I don't ever want you to feel, you know how I fear being homeless? Okay, so like money and finances are a big trigger to me. I begin to panic and worry, and I don't know where that really comes from. I grew up kind of poor, but I didn't know I was poor. You know what I'm saying? And so I worry about you people that live on a limited income, and you sit here on your couch and you get depressed because you're like, oh, I really like that Aunt Judy. And, everybody sends her gifts for Christmas and I can't afford to do it. And I worry about you getting in left field because you can't do it because of financial reasons. And today, I want you, that person that sits on the couch wishing you could donate to my farm, I want you to know that you are a part of helping me get to this point on my Facebook. And I thank you. So instead of sitting there worrying, going, oh, I wish I could have sent her a stocking. Girl, you sent me some good things this Christmas. So thank you so much. And I just wanted to take the time to tell you thank you because it means a lot to me that I have gotten. Did you hear that thunder? I gotten to this point because I couldn't figure, like, Facebook is so different from YouTube. so different. And YouTube is so creator friendly. You pretty much know how to meet your goals. It's easy. It's cut and dry. Like, you know what you have to do. And sometimes with Facebook, it's a guessing game how to meet the goals. It's not really specific, and you have to kind of figure it out yourself. And what like you get in a bonus program, and like what your other friends are getting in their bonus, like you're not getting, and you're like, what? So it's hard to figure out. And today when I woke up and I was like, I have met this goal. Most people meet the goal when they hit 10,000 followers. And it's taken me 30,000 followers to hit the goal. So I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys thank you. I am going to get ready this morning. Here in Alabama, our weather has been a psychomaniac. Okay, like 1 minute it is freezing cold, the next minute it's 60 degrees, the next minute it's tornadoes, the next minute it's 8 degrees outside. Like it is all over the map. And today is tornadoes, and I'm really a bit worried because the tornadoes are supposed to hit between 11 and 12 here. And I have to drive to Birmingham to take my dad to radiation. And I'm like, do I go? Do I stay? Like, what do I do? And just know that the people in Alabama, I think it's happening, of course, the whole South period, but we're on the struggle bus. We are so on the struggle bus because we're preparing for, it's supposed to be 8 degrees Tuesday. Okay, it was 60 yesterday. We were in short sleeve t-shirts. Okay, we were burning up yesterday. And then it's supposed to be 8 degrees on Tuesday. So I had to go and get everything to prepare because I have baby goats. I have this cria. that's young, and I'm like, I've got to make sure everyone stays warm. And so it's been a little all over the place. Okay, let me switch to boyfriend. Okay, let me take my glasses off. Kayla is probably, the schools are out today because of the weather. So Kayla is probably enjoying her sleep time. So she's not here. So if some of you, maybe Carol, if you could, if somebody asks a question, Carol, if you could maybe answer them. Okay, so I have, with boyfriend, you know, I preach no fences, just friends. And I'm going to tell you why I preach that. I don't preach that because I think I can keep my boys and girls together and be one happy family. That is, if you have thought that, if you're a farm and you have thought that, you technically you've not been on a field trip to understand what no fences, just friends means. So I thought I would tell you today. No fences, just friends does not mean that I think that I can keep all my intact males in with my females and there's no problem. Obviously, Bobby Joe was an example of I don't think that, right? Because I had to make a hard decision to let Bobby Joe go to another farm. But I'm slowly trying to fix my boys. Dexter, I don't know about him. I would really like to fix Dexter, but Shane Sneed doesn't want to fix Dexter. Dexter's not aggressive though. Dexter's fine. He ain't a Bobby Joe. But some of these boys, well, just the main one that is really shows aggression was Bobby Joe. Like boyfriend is intact and he doesn't really show aggression. But I can't have piglets every 3-4 months, right? So to make a long story short, I've said this before, but pigs have to go under general anesthesia to be put to sleep, to be fixed. They are like human beings. Okay, like a goat, an alpaca can have a local anesthesia and get fixed right there in the barn, and it's not a big deal. A pig has to have the gas mask put over its face, general anesthesia, to be put to sleep, to be officially put to sleep, to be fixed. So
that is a big pig. That is not a small pig.
Well, let's back up just a minute. If you castrate a small pig, it still has to go under general anesthesia. Like when Freddie got fixed, Freddie was probably a couple of months old, and Freddie was very aggressive. But when he got fixed, he still had, the vet brought in a mobile anesthesia machine. Freddie had a mask over his face, like he went under general anesthesia, but he was young and not big in size. So what happens is with older pigs that are big in size, fully grown, you put them at risk when you put them under general anesthesia, especially because of their size and their age. There is a risk involved. And so I cannot have Dr. Harney come to my farm and put boyfriend under general anesthesia. I think it's because the mobile machine,
his size,
won't handle his size. I think it's the reason. But anyway, so I am going to have to load boyfriend up, take him to a vet to be fixed. Okay. I've been on the fence because when I went into the vet to talk to him about boyfriend, he said, Judy, it's just a risk. It's a risk to put him to sleep because of his size. And I said, I know, but when I put Shishi and Freddie in this pen, they sit there because my animals are used to free ranging. I don't have fences really. And they're used to roaming around 2 acres of land and like sleeping where they want to sleep. Like they're not, I guess they're spoiled. And so they begged to come out. So then I put Shishi at risk of getting pregnant. And the other day, what I've been doing is playing God, I think. And so what I do is go out there to Shishi. I look at her tutu. And I'm like, okay, it's not swelled up. Boyfriend's not over here trying to be in her business, so I can let her out of the fence. So I've been playing God, going, okay, she can't get pregnant. And I'll let her out of the fence because she begs to get out of the fence. Well, the other day, I looked at her tutu. There was no signs of, there's no signs of being in heat. And I let her out. And when I told her to go brush her teeth because she had school in the morning and I put her to bed, her tutu was bleeding. And I was like, okay, first of all, please note that an animal doesn't bleed when they're in heat like a human being. Okay. There's not like you can look and go, oh, there's blood. She's in heat. No, it doesn't happen like that. So in my head, when I saw blood, I was like, that told me that boyfriend must have been all in her business and physically kind of hurt her a little bit because there was blood. It had nothing. I mean, she probably was in heat and I didn't realize it, but that's not good. I can't let that happen. I cannot let that happen. So I made the decision that I talked to the vet. And he said, oh, I just burnt my ear. He said, Judy, if you will bring boyfriend here during the cold, cold winter, I will, yes, Shane's out. I will fix him. So February the 5th, my sweet friend JC is going to come over here and help me get boyfriend to the vet to get him fixed. And just because I say no fences, just friends, doesn't mean that I'm going to leave every boy intact. So my plan is to slowly begin to fix the boys. And really, boyfriend, well, I'll have to fix Hey Mickey, but Tate's been fixed, Rio's been fixed, Ruger's been fixed, Freddie's been fixed, Leroy has been fixed. Is there any more other boys? So basically, all my boys will be gelded or castrated, whatever you want to say. And so they should be able to live together. Now, I want to explain something about alpacas in case you don't know. So like, you know how like, oh, wrong way. You know how pigs go in heat every so often? A goat goes in heat. They have seasons of heat. They go in heat at a certain time. Okay, alpacas don't. Alpacas are different than any other animal that I have. They don't go in heat in a season. They can be bred year round. So the risk that you take when you have boys and girls together is that, like when I fixed, let's just say my goats, or I fixed Leroy, it dead stopped the breeding, like dead stop. They never even, like, Freddie was trying to breed all the time. He was trying to breed my leg. He was trying to breed my head. Like, he would grab my hair. Like, if I sat down, Freddie would grab the back of my head and begin to try to hump my back. It was a train wreck. When he's back.
Ain't for long. I got a doctor's appointment. I got to go get my eyes.
They wanted to know why you were out.
Ah.
Did I make you uncomfortable when I talked about blood?
No, I went and got me some lifesavers.
Carol gave those for me.
No, Carol gave those to me.
Carol did not say.
That was my present from Carol.
Ca-
And Carol said, Shane, I've got you a present. And
that is a dang lie.
Next thing I know, you over there trying to steal my lifesavers and eating my M&Ms.
You know why you're
get your hands.
You know why you're stealing the lifesavers? Because you need to be saved from your cussing. I'm hoping those lifesavers will fix your train wreck mouth.
That is probably true.
Carol,
I'm not going to try to deny
Carol,
that whatsoever. Carol, thank you for my lifesavers.
Carol, just know that I've had probably a half a pack, and him and Larry have ate all the lifesavers.
Hey, if you didn't want other people getting in it, you ought to put it up.
Well, I was trying to be nice. I didn't know y'all were going to eat every flipping one of them. Sticking them in your daggum pockets and crap.
I even took some in my lunchbox.
Are you serious? Just going around. You know, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell y'all this story. So, I'm real, I'm weird about money, okay?
She's weird.
So, if Shane had $100 laying over there on his nightstand, and I needed $20 to run to the store and get some bread and milk because it was about to freeze.
It's $20 plus the interest.
I have anxiety about taking that $20 because it's his money, and I'm like, so I don't take the $20. I'll go to the store go to the bank, to the ATM, because I don't want to take his money without asking.
Whatever.
That joker, if there's $100 laying on my counter, he's not taking 20. He's taking the whole flipping 100 and sticking it in his pocket because he needed it. So you can't leave around this house. You cannot leave lifesavers. You can't leave money. If anything looks enticing to him, he's not taking half. He's taking it all.
Hey, it's go big or go home. Don't I look at it.
He's taking all your lifesavers.
If you take a little, you might as well take a whole lot because it's all the same difference.
And I'm like, why do I sit here and I'm thinking, okay, I better not touch that money. He needs it for something. And if I take $20, then he's not going to have enough to pay for it because there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason why he's got the $100 laying on his counter. So I better not take it. No, that joker, he ain't even thinking about, oh, Judy needs to go get hay with this $100. I better not get it. No, if it's laying there, by God, it's his.
If it's laying there, it's free game. I mean, if you own it, then you ought to put it up. If you don't want nobody looking at it, and you don't want nobody getting it, and you don't want nobody, wait a minute. I know somebody that does Larry that way.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
If he leaves his money, you go hide it and then tell him somebody's gonna get it.
No, let's tell him the whole story. We're not telling half the story. We're telling the whole story, Jack. You're not okay. This is the deal. My dad, I don't understand it, but he will leave $300 in the not hidden in his car.
I gotta go.
Bye.
Go to the doctor. See ya.
Okay. He's not leaving. He's leaving $300 where you can physically see it from the outside of his car. Well, I sat him down. I said, listen to me. You're going to get robbed. If you don't stop leaving money in your car, especially like big amounts. I said, I have the public at my farm. Like, I have people that I don't know that could be looking in your car, and you've got $100 bill laying in your console, and they're going to come back and break your windshield to get this $100 out. Well, it went in, it kind of was like the jacket situation, okay? It went in one ear and out the other. Well, this is what I did. I said this like 10 times, and he didn't listen to me. So I went and stole his money. Okay. I stole the money out of his car, and I put it in my jewelry box, and I didn't say a word. This is what Shane's talking about. And so he went to get his money out, and he goes, my money's missing out of my car. I said, oh, well, it's probably because you left it in the view and And I want you to know, like, there's people in our area that are going through cars at night. It's all over Facebook here in Coleman. I said, well, you shouldn't have left your money in your console. Well, I didn't say anything. I let it slide for a little bit. I didn't steal his money like Shane's saying I did. I just let it slide for a little bit because I wanted him to think that his money was stolen, to teach him a lesson not to leave his money out. So after a couple of weeks, I sat him down and I said, listen, it was me that stole your money. I said, but I was trying to teach you a lesson. I said, I don't want you to leave this kind of money in your car. Do you understand me? Someone's going to break your windshield. Well, now that I told him that it was me, he does it. So every time, well, now he's not leaving me because he can't drive, but I have to go out to his car and physically look to see when he goes home. I have to look to see if there's big loads of cash in his car. And so now I have to treat him like a kid because I don't want him to get robbed. So that's what Shane's talking about. But if you live in Coleman and you want to rob my dad, just let you know that I check the car regularly and there's no money left in the car. And my dad can't drive anymore. So I lock the car and you're going to be disappointed if you break in my dad's car and try to get money. That's just for the record. Anyway, so that's what Shane's talking about. Okay. I need to update y'all on what happened with Delta Dawn because when I went back and watched my video, I didn't explain things very well. Okay, this is what happens. Carol, this is strawberry lemon. I don't really like it. I like the watermelon better. This is not. If y'all are buying Poppy because of me, I'm not. I don't like lemon stuff though. So that might be why you might like it. Okay. When you take your animal to have a necropsy, this is what happens. And when I do my next video, I'm going to explain this. So this might be a double repeat, but not everybody watches my lives. Okay. So anyway, when you take an animal in to have a necropsy, if you've not watched my video, you really should go watch that video. It's very educational. It's the last video on YouTube that I posted. It's very educational. You can see what a lot of farm people have to go through. But basically, a necropsy is an autopsy of an animal. It's just called a necropsy. So when you go there, they open up the animal to find out the cause of death. All right. So when they opened her up, listen, y'all, I wished I could have videoed it. And I thought about videoing it because he probably would have let me. But I was scared that you guys would be eating your supper, watching my YouTube channel, and you'd be vomiting. So I didn't go too graphic. I did let you see the cow being transferred in to having a necropsy, but that was a little disturbing. But I didn't want to physically show you Delta Dawn opened up. There was, I'm not joking, there was that much poop in her. That much. Okay. So basically, when they open her up, they can see that there is blockage because there's no way that much poop will pass through her intestines. It won't go. And she couldn't have vomited it either. It was too large. So I do know there's blockage, although I don't know why there's blockage. Okay. So the next step when you have a necropsy is they do they take a sample of the liver, the kidneys, like the stomach. They take samples, they cut it off, and they put it in this little solution to be shipped off to Auburn to be tested on if something's wrong. Okay. So that's what my $75 that I paid for to have the necropsy, it pays for the shipping and for them to test it and all the supplies and stuff like that. So basically, right now, what I got was I definitely know there was blockage. I just don't know why there was blockage. So there could be two things that cause the blockage. So my rabbits are Angora rabbits. They're not rabbits that go on the ground. They are long-haired, like frilly, pretty rabbits that have to be groomed. So if they were on the ground all the time, can you imagine what's going to get in their wool? Okay? It's going to get tangled up. It's going to be a nightmare. So like you don't really I do free range my rabbits some. It's usually now I do have an outdoor area that I put them in. It's a little ring. It is on the ground, but literally when they're out there for let's just say an hour, I have to bring them in and brush them because there's pine straw and dirt and leaves all in their wool. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So sometimes when I free range them on the concrete because they can also their rabbits are just like a cat and dog. They can get fleas. You have to worm them. Like there's a lot involved. But when you have freely frou-frou rabbits, it's a bit different than let's just say a short hair rabbit. Okay, so what happens with long hair rabbits? So what they do is when they get pregnant, right before they kit means they're fixing to have babies. Kitting is goats are fixing to have babies. Baby goats are called kids. Baby rabbits are called kits, Kits. So you call it kitting, okay? So when they go to kit, what they do is they begin to pull out their wool because they make this beautiful, nice wool warm nest for their babies. Okay. What happened with Delta Dawn is she had what is called a false pregnancy, meaning she thought she was pregnant and she wasn't. So what she did is she pulled out, and that rabbits can do this, and I don't know the cause of it. I'll have to ask the vet about that. But she pulled out her wool. She made this nice warm bed, and I was like, "Is she pregnant?" And then no babies came afterwards, and I was like, "What the heck?" And that was the first time I personally, in 5 years, have experienced false pregnancy in a rabbit. But it can happen. It can happen. So when she pulled out her wool, you know how like a cat licks themselves to clean themselves? Rabbits do too. Well, the long-haired rabbits ingest that wool, just like you know how cats get a fur ball. You know what I'm talking about? And there's this medicine that you can give a cat to to help them pass the fur ball. Okay, rabbits can get fur balls. Okay, in my experience with having rabbits, I've never had a rabbit get a fur ball. I've never had that, so like I had not dealt with that. Okay, so when they did the necropsy and opened her up, and there was all that poop, they couldn't even pull the poop out because there was so much wool in her poop that the poop wouldn't even go like this. It wouldn't even crumble because there was so much wool. So two things could happen. She could have ingested that wool when she had the false pregnancy, and it caused her to have a blockage because the poop would not pass through the intestines because of all the wool. That could have happened. Or she could have had, she had a UTI, right? She had a UTI. There was blood in her urine and she was on antibiotics. She could have never recovered from her UTI and it caused her GI tract to slow down. And so the normal ingestion of the wool wasn't passing through because her GI tract stopped working because of the UTI. Okay, so at this point in life, I have no idea if it was just the ingestion of the wool or if it was because of the UTI, but it could have been pancreatitis. I think that's how you say it. It could have been that slows the GI tract down. So what they do in the necropsy is they do a biopsy of her pancreas, her liver, her kidneys, and it's shipped off to Auburn. And so then Auburn tests it, and then they send me a report back in roughly a couple of weeks, and they say she had a urinary tract infection that never was resolved, that caused the GI tract to slow down, that caused the backup. That's how I will know. But at this point in life, I don't know if it was, quote, just from the wool or what it was. I don't know. Now, I did get the report back from Wallace because they send a report of what they physically saw, and they saw the blockage. They saw that there was feces on her. I told you guys in that video, it was the weirdest thing because when I found her dead, she had already stiffened up. Okay. Now let's think about this for just a minute. You would think if she's already stiff, she's been dead a minute, right? So she died sometime late that night. She couldn't have. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So it wasn't like she died early morning. She had to have died late night for her to already be stiff, right? There was no poop on her at all. Okay. Now she passed that nasty poop the day before she died. And JC, my friend that was trying to nurse her back to health, sat there and cut that off her wool. So when she came to me, there was none of that because I had planned on taking her back to the vet for the third time Tuesday morning. It was a holiday Monday, so the vet was closed. So Tuesday, I was going to get up early and go take her back to the vet and demand an x-ray before I took my dad radiation. So there was no poop on her. When I found her passed away, I put her in a black trash bag. And I've said this before, this may seem inhumane, but Shane and I do not bury our animals. We can't. We have got coyotes all over our property. If we bury the animals, our property is not level. And the coyotes are down in our creek area. And you've probably, if you've been following me for a while, you've probably have heard the coyotes. I've done videos of the coyotes. They're close, okay? So if we were to bury an animal on our property, the cow, and it was close, let's just say to our house, the coyotes are going to smell it and they're going to come closer and closer and closer. And I do not want the coyotes anywhere close to my farm. So Shane and I, we cremate them. We do. So I had put her in a bag to be cremated. Well, that day it rained like crazy. So we didn't get to cremate her, which was a blessing because it gave me time to be frustrated and go, I need to know why she died. I cannot sleep. Like, I need to know why she died because I need to know if this happens again, what to do. And I'm going to tell you something. You know how if, let's just say you have back pain, okay, and you think your back's broke. And you're like, honey, I need to go to the ER. I think I've broken my back. And you go to the ER and they do an MRI and they do a CAT scan and they're like, nothing's wrong. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And you're like, dude, something's wrong. I can't even freaking raise my hands up. There's nothing wrong with you. You'll need to go to an orthopedic. You go to the orthopedic and they're like, Your MRI and CAT scan doesn't show anything. You've not broken anything. Well, please tell me why I can't raise my arms. Well, we'll just need to send you to physical therapy. And then you go to physical therapy and you're dying of pain, right? No one knows their body like you. And when it comes to yourself, your animals, you have to fight for them. When it comes to your health and everyone is telling you that nothing is wrong, you know your body. And you know, a doctor, a vet is called practicing medicine. They don't have all the answers, right? It's like they're not God. They don't have all the answers. They do the MRI. If your back's not broken, they don't see anything wrong. But you know, in your brain, I literally can't even stand up. I can't lift my arms. Like something is wrong. And you have to fight. It's so frustrating, especially when you don't feel good. But you have to fight for yourself and go, okay, this doctor's telling me nothing wrong. It's time to go to get a second opinion because I know deep down inside something's wrong. When I hurt my knee, okay, I hurt my knee, and that is exactly what happened. I went to my leg. Shane was gone hunting. My leg was this big. I looked like I had elephancy. My leg was so swollen and I was in so much pain. And so I drove myself to the ER and I was like, I've jacked my leg up. Like my leg is this big. And they told me that nothing was wrong. They did an MRI, CAT scan. They were like, you didn't tear your meniscus. Nothing's wrong. And I was like, well, then why is my leg 3 times the size of my other leg? And they were like, obviously there's something going on, but we can't figure out what's going wrong. And you've been in the ER for 10 hours for them to tell you that nothing's wrong and your leg is this big. You're frustrated. You leave there mad. You're frustrated. And they sent me to an orthopedic. I go to the orthopedic. He moves my leg. He was like, well, you don't have a torn meniscus because you wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm going to send you to physical therapy. So then I go to physical therapy. And every time I go to physical therapy, I'm dying of pain. And my leg swells every time I go to therapy. I went through it. And they were telling me, I can't even remember what they told me. I think they told me it was arthritis. Yeah, that's what they did. They told me it was arthritis pain. Well, I finally had to go fight for my rights. And I said, look, I went back to the doctor and I said, look, I've taken the anti-inflammatories. I have gone to physical therapy. My leg is 3 times the size of my other ones. Will you please do another MRI? I think is what I said. And he said, I'm going to. The insurance will pay for it. I had another MRI and I had a torn meniscus. So I went through all of that with a torn meniscus. And I ended up having to have surgery. So see how you have to fight. Sometimes with your health, you have to fight because they're practicing medicine. They're not perfect. And you can't be so much mad at them because doctors are put on parameters by the insurance company, right? They're like, the insurance company's like, we're not paying for an MRI until you put her through physical therapy. So the doctors have no choice but to put you through physical therapy. If they do move my leg around and it doesn't hurt, then they have no choice because insurance says, we're not paying for an expensive MRI because she's going to go through physical therapy first. And I think with a vet, some of y'all are very mad at my vet. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I will say this. I have more than one vet. Okay. I have a vet that I use where my vet comes to my farm. And then I have a vet that I take my animals to the vet. Okay. So I have more than one vet. And Um, I have another vet for the tortoise. I have to drive to Huntsville for the tortoise. And then for the smaller animals that I can physically take into the vet, I have him as a vet. And then I have a vet that actually comes to my farm. So I actually have 3 vets. So I have learned through this process that vets vets are good at certain animals. Vets kind of specialize in certain animals. Like like the vet that I went to, he's real good with dogs and cats, horses, cows, goats, like farm animals. But like small animals like a rabbit, maybe he's not as knowledgeable in is what I've realized. But they're not going to physically tell you that, right? But you kind of learn that. And there was another vet that I took the dogs to, and she's like, Judy, I don't know anything about rabbits. So she did tell me that. But what I've learned by doing my research is there's this vet that is actually that went to school and specialized in rabbits not far from me. Now it's about a 30-minute drive. But see, I'm going to have another vet added to the list because now I'm going to have 4 vets, because the vet that told me that about the rabbits, he is so strong. Like he's strong in poultry. A lot of vets are not strong in poultry. He is. He's strong in, like, he's the one, the dad is the one that's going to be fixing boyfriend. I trust him totally. But he's just not so strong in rabbits. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not mad, because that man, I'm going to tell you, he's done a lot for me in life, and I am not mad. I just have learned that with the rabbits, I'm going to have a different vet, and that's okay. And, getting mad is, where does that get you? If I was to sit here and get mad, where's that getting me? It's giving me anxiety. Like, being mad at someone, how does it make you feel inside? You have, being mad for myself causes me to constantly think about it. Like, if I'm mad at someone, then it's on my brain 24/7. That's for me personally. You can be mad and never think about it again. But for myself, I don't know how to do that. If I'm mad and I sit here and stew over Delta Dawn's death, and I should have done this, I should have done that, I feel anxiety, I feel stress, I feel a little sick at my stomach. Like, it doesn't sit well with me. So being mad, I've learned how to, when things like this happen, I've learned how to go, you know what? She's passed away. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to miss her terribly. I feel really sad, but I know in my heart, as her mom, I know that I took her to the vet twice, and I tried. And I even tried after she was dead. I actually tried after she was dead by taking her to have a necropsy to find out why she died. I never gave up on her. But see, being mad and holding that frustration in and being mad at myself, like, I should have asked them to do an x-ray. I should have asked them to do exploratory surgery. I should have done this. When you do that, you're causing your tail feathers to just spin, and it's not healthy. And I'm speaking for myself. It's not healthy for me to sit here and what if all day long. That's not healthy for me. What's healthy for me is to know in my heart, when I take an animal to the vet, I have to know in my heart that I did everything that I could do to help her or help him. And if the animal dies, I can actually sleep at night knowing that I spent a lot of money trying to save her life. Like, look at Penny Lane. Y'all, you cannot even imagine how much money I spent on that duck. I spent a lot of money on that duck because I wanted to give her a chance at life. You know, Quacky Jackie, the duck that has one leg, I spent $450 on that duck to give her life. Okay. That is Judy. Okay. A lot of people would go, this is a duck. This is a duck. I'm not, she's got one leg. She's been attacked by a dog. I am not spending $450 to have her leg amputated. This is the difference in a sanctuary and a non-sanctuary. A sanctuary, when you guys give donations and you guys support my farm, I'm able to give an animal a chance, because usually when you have a rescue, you dump a lot of money into it because you have to nurse it back to health. And this is where, when you have like when you see animal rescues, like a dog rescue, you know, this a nonprofit. Okay. You see them begging for money. And sometimes you're like, if that dog rescue has another fundraiser, I'm going to scream. Y'all have no idea how hard it is to be able to manage vet bills. It's, you know, let's just forget the farm animals. The last time I took Rolly and Tag to the vet to have their shots, their heartworm medicine, and their flea medicine, I paid $700 for 2 dogs. If y'all have dogs and cats, you know how expensive it is to go to the vet. Vet bills ain't no joke. Feed and vet bills are my biggest expense. And some months the feed bill's higher than the vet bills. And then some months the vet bills are higher than, but you know, when you have a farm vet that travels and he doesn't have an office, well, he charges a traveling fee because he spends gas money and travels around to come to your farm, and it costs $85 just to pull in the driveway. And that seems like a lot, but Shane and I have not invested in a trailer. And we haven't for 2 reasons. Oh, I got balloons. We haven't for 2 reasons. The first reason is because probably Shane would say differently, but it's me that does everything on the farm, pretty much. I mean, Shane does help. I just got lotion in my hair. Shane does help put out hay and stuff like that. But as far as the farm, Steve's Farmhouse, it's me. It's me that does the taking care of the animals. It's me that does the training. It's me that goes to get the food. It's me that puts it up. It's me that does the feeding. It's me that calls the vet. It's me that does majority of Sneed's Farmhouse. So when those things happen, can you imagine? Okay, let's just say Dexter needs to go to the vet. Can you imagine me by myself trying to load Dexter in a trailer to pull him to the vet? There's some women that are rock stars that can do that. I personally don't think I can do that. First of all, I don't know how to drive with the trailer on the back. That's probably something I need to put on my bucket list to learn. But I don't know how to drive a trailer. And anytime you load an animal and you have other animals, I mean, let's think about this. Okay, so I have a truck that I have to load Dexter in. Okay, well, if I open the gate, I have all these animals that are going to run out of the gate. So the first thing I have to do is go put all the animals into the barn. That can be difficult if it's not feeding time to get them all to go to bed. So you have to put them all into the bed, and then make sure that you don't put that Dexter doesn't go to bed. You need Dexter to go over here, and you need Dexter to be separated from Dee Dee. Okay, trying to separate Dee Dee and Dexter and go, Dee Dee, baby, you need to go over here. Dexter, you're fixing to go to the vet. You need to go over here. Like, really? Really? And then to try to load him up and get in there, it's been difficult. So I haven't felt like personally that I wanted to spend the money on a trailer. So therefore, I have a farm vet that I don't have to do that. So it's worth the $85 to pull in the driveway to me, because first of all, I don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a trailer. And second of all, the vet can just come here, and all I got to do is put the animal in the barn and we're good. We're good. You know? So that's why I haven't done it yet. And you know, you kind of like have to pick and choose. You know, like if I was to get a donation, I have to go, okay, where do I need to invest this? And it's usually in the savings account, because I know I'm going to have vet bills. You know what I'm saying? That's usually where it happens. I liked it. I forgot what the lady's name is that gave me this brush, but I like this little brush, by the way. Is it? I know her name starts with R. I can't remember her name. She's the lady that gave me the stocking. Sorry, names start running together. But anyway, so you know, there's a lot when it comes to a farm, and you know, it's funny because sometimes when you watch people on YouTube or Facebook, you know, I can video exactly what I want you to see, and I can video exactly what I want to hide. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes like when you watch videos of farms and stuff, like I said, we can pick and choose what we want you to see. And I feel like with my channel that I want to be as real as possible, because it is pouring. I mean, it is pouring, and I've got to go do animals. That's the one thing about having a farm is it's snowing outside. Well, guess what? You don't have the day off. The boss ain't calling and saying, oh, it's snowing outside. You don't have to come to work today. You can't do that with a farm. So I've got to go out there and do animals and then take my dad to radiation. So anyway, what am I saying? So I want my channel, you know, I want to be real with y'all. And, you know, maybe sometimes like people in general, like it's hard to talk about mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I've not said this. Hopefully I can say it without getting choked up, but my brother is an addict. Has been his whole life. Like I can remember at 12 years old, I can remember my mother calling me going, you go in his bedroom and you look for cigarettes and you look for everything that you can find. And I was like, oh yeah. So as big sister, I'm going in there, I'm ripping all this stuff. I'm looking for cigarettes and I'm looking for all this stuff because he got in trouble at school. And he was like 12 years old. And his whole life, he was a functioning addict. Like I never knew he was high. I mean, I knew that he had trouble with pain pills. I knew that, but like he would go through spells. Like he would be really, really bad, and you're like, oh Lord, he is terrible. And then he would be good. But like my brother was very successful. My brother ran his own business. My brother was I don't know what he was worth, but he was worth a pretty good penny. He had a successful business, and he had 14 salesmen in other states selling for him. He was on top of his game. My brother could sell ice to an Eskimo. But you would never know he was high most of the time. Like, you wouldn't know that he just took 12 pain pills because you couldn't, I guess he was immune to it. So you really couldn't see it. Well, I'm going to say 7 or 8 years ago, he started doing meth. I'm going to tell you something. I have seen friends and I've seen family that have had addiction, and by far, out of heroin, pain pills, opiates, whatever you want to say, there is no other drug to me like meth. It completely steals your loved one away. It is terrible. Greg and I, my oldest brother, we are very close because through this transition of us losing our brother to meth, we've watched, I'll just tell you, in the past 6 months, first of all, I've not seen him in probably 7 years. And I talk about hard things on my lives. I talk about addiction. I talk about mental health. I talk about struggles that I deal with in my marriage. I talk about struggles I deal with my children. And I tell you these things and I talk out loud in hopes that my story will help someone else. Like, I hope right now there's 145 people watching me. And I know there is someone out there that deals with addiction. Maybe it's not meth. Maybe it's cigarettes. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's pornography. Maybe it's an eating disorder. There's something that doesn't make you be the best version of you. There is something that weighs you down, that robs you of your joy and robs you of being the best version of Judy that I can be. I struggle with it. You struggle with it. It may not be the word meth. And sometimes when we hear the word meth, we automatically go to judgment. Oh, I would never do that. Oh, gosh, she ain't nothing but a straight drug addict. We begin to judge. But see, what happens is we don't look within, because we struggle with something just like my brother struggles with meth. I struggle with the eating disorder. And my eating disorder will send me to straight outer space, just like meth sends him to outer space. So I can't judge him for his addiction when I have my own addiction. So that's why we have to turn our eye towards ourselves and begin to fix ourselves. So anyway, with my brother, Greg and I have watched, we've watched it take away his teeth. We've watched it take away his physical health. In the past couple of months, he's lost his family, his kids. He lost his business. He lost his checking account, his savings account, his cell phone. He's lost his car. He's now, this boy that was probably a millionaire is now homeless with no money. It's terrible. And we get threatening text messages because somebody with meth, they get into paranoia and they begin to think that everyone is after them. Very sad addiction. Oh God, so sad. And my brother was living in a hotel 3 weeks ago, and he left the hotel and has not been seen in 3 weeks. So Greg and I were like, you know, and I don't know if you've dealt with this before. If you've dealt with this before, just know that I understand. But my brother could die and we have no closure. We have, and he's gone missing before. But no one has seen him or talked to him in 3 weeks. And I assume the worst. I'm like, oh gosh, my brother's passed away. Like, this is it. And this is my baby brother, he's 5 years younger than me. He's not even 50 years old. And he's basically lost his life. But I'm not going to give up hope, because I know that at an older age, I've turned my life around. And I believe that God can bring him to redemption. I do. I'm not going to sit here and get my hopes up. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my gosh, God's going to save his life. I know that my brother has to hit rock bottom. And every time, like when he lost his business, I was like, oh, this is rock bottom. This is rock bottom. Like, this is it. He's going to change his life. And it didn't. And I was like, what the heck? Wait a minute. He's okay with losing his business? But y'all, that's not rock bottom for him. It's not. Going to jail, being homeless, losing your business, losing your family. Like, to me and you, we think, oh, that's rock bottom. It's not. And that's why I'm very, when it comes to addiction, I had to go to Al-Anon. I had to learn how to deal with it, because it was robbing me of my happiness, like, completely. The things that are happening in my family with him, you're like, wait a minute, this is happening in my family? Like, this is my brother? Wait a minute. My brother is okay with this. Like, that's why I say that, you know how people get in fights about, it was a choice. It's a choice. You're making choices, like, as far as like, people get in fight about abortion. People get in fight about homosexuality. People get in a fight about addiction. It's a choice. No, it's not a choice. Like, like war comes out when you talk about homosexuality or abortion or politics or those hard subjects. Like, the fight will come out. Like, if I sit here and talked about politics, you guys would be in a fist fight talking about Republicans do this, Democrats do this. Like, you'd be in a fist fight. And it's the same thing when it comes to the word addiction, with the choice thing. Now, this is just me personally. It's just Aunt Judy's opinion. You do not have to agree with me, but you cannot convince me that my brother going homeless, losing his family, losing his job, losing his teeth, losing his hair, this big around, like, you cannot convince me that was his choice in life. Like, you cannot convince me that these were his choices. And I say that because I've known him my whole entire life. Like, I agree. Now, hear me out. Don't just hang up on me and go, she's crazy. Hear me out. I do believe that it was his choice to use the first time. Like, it was his choice to try drugs. It was his choice, to go from, okay, pain pills to cocaine or cocaine to meth. Like, it was his choice to do that. And you can sit here as a brother, a sister, a parent, and go, my kids will never do that. I will teach them to say no to drugs. I will not have alcohol in my house. I will not let them say ugly words. We will go to church every single time the doors are open. My kids will not do that. Every parent says that. Most parents say that. And when it happens when it hits your family, you're like, what that? Because what happens is, let's just say in high school, your kids get introduced to drugs for the first time, or your brother or your sister or whatever. They get introduced because this world is sinful and kids are terrible. And kids are like, oh my gosh, I got this pot. We're going to go to this party this weekend. Your kid's in high school, and you're like, oh, my kid would never do that. My kid cares about their body. They're never going to shoot up. They're not shooting up because they won't even go to the doctor and get their blood drawn. They freaking flip their lid when they get a shot. There's no way in Hades that my kid or my brother or my sister will ever put a needle in their arm. That's what you say. Okay. And then they go and they get introduced, let's just say, to pot. And boy, that night was so much fun. Remember what you did? Oh my God, you were freaking out. You know how kids do? And then one night, I feel like we all are born with some type of addiction. I'm speaking for myself. That's how I feel. I feel like we all are born and we struggle with something. There's something that robs us from joy, and there's something that robs us from being the best version of Judy or you. There's something out there that keeps us from doing that. And I believe that addiction of drugs, I believe it's straight from hell. That's just my opinion. I've not seen, I believe it is straight from hell. And I think that it starts at a young age. This is just what I've seen, is it starts at a young age, and they try pot or something for the first time, and they love the high, and they love, like, oh my God, like alcohol. Okay. They drink in high school let's forget, like street drugs. Okay. Alcohol. They start drinking in high school because it's fun. That's what you do. On Friday nights, you go to parties and you get drunk, and that's just what you do. And some people can drink and then go, I hate throwing up. And then some people think it's hilarious that you throw up. They will video each other throwing up because they think it's absolutely hysterical that such and such got drunk Friday night and was vomiting and it was coming out their nose, and they're videoing, showing their friends, dude, look at this. Oh my God, Judy was so drunk. It was coming out her freaking nose. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Like, there's some people that think it's funny. And then there's some people that go, oh my God, like, that scared me to death. He didn't even know he was in this world when he was drunk. You know what I'm saying? There's different types of people that react different ways to, they think it's funny that their friends are drunk. There are adults that to this day, they think it's funny that their friends are drunk. But see, the difference is the person that may think it's funny doesn't fight the addiction gene of alcoholism. But their friend that's vomiting and might fight that alcohol addiction gene. So what happens is the one that thinks it's funny, that doesn't fight it, goes home, goes to sleep, and doesn't drink again to the next Friday till he gets around his friends. And the person with addiction wakes up in the morning and is still looking for a high. And the person that thought it was funny that was recording it doesn't understand that this person is an addict. You like, if you were a friend to this person and you understood how addiction worked, you wouldn't be drinking with this person, because you know that drinking with this person leads them to meth. You over here can drink and stop, but the person with addiction just keeps going. And it starts at a teenager, and then the next thing you know, they're in their 20s and they're doing the same thing they did in their and it just keeps going. And the next thing you know, they're 50 years old still doing what they did in their teens. And the person that thought it was funny that was recording, that could stop drinking, they could get drunk and then stop, doesn't understand what this addiction person is going through. And I really highly recommend that if you are a family member with someone in your family or friend that is an addict, I highly recommend you understand the disease. I highly recommend understanding the disease, because without understanding the disease, you may be enabling this person with addiction of alcoholism. And you have no idea. I learned over the past couple of years, I know my life is long, but I can't go out there and do animals right this minute. So just join me. But if you don't understand addiction, you may be that person going, you can do this. You just need to stop. You just need to go to rehab. You don't understand what it's doing to your body. The reason you're doing this is because of your alcoholism. Like, if you're that person that's saying that to the addict, you're wasting your breath. You're wasting your breath. I cannot tell you how many times that Greg, my brother, said, listen, if you will go to rehab, I will come run your business. I will literally come run your entire business if you will go to rehab and get help. Stop what you're doing. I will handle this. You go get help. It's like you sitting here telling me, Judy, do you understand that if you go eat those cookies in that kitchen, you're going to go to La La Land, and you're going to cause you to get sideways with your eating disorder. And then next thing you know, you're depressed for a week because you allowed yourself to overindulge and eat the whole box of cookies because you couldn't control yourself. And I'm like, duh, like, I don't know that, but that don't mean I'm not going to do it. So you got to understand your own addiction. And when you're in whatever you're struggling with that robs you of your joy and robs you of your happiness, if you don't know what your triggers are that get you to that point, you're in trouble. Just to let you know, you're in some serious trouble if you don't know what triggers you. You're in some serious, and even with not addiction, like, I've had some people reach out to me about like how their kids treat them, let's just say. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't know yourself, when people try, like other people try to attack you, even if it's your own family, if you go under attack and you don't know who you are as a person, you're going to crumble. You're going to crumble. You've got to know yourself so well. And knowing yourself is admitting to yourself what you struggle with. Instead of worrying about your brother is on the streets, maybe dead or alive, I have to go, okay, this really hurts. Like, my brother, we're probably going to bury my brother. And he's not even 50 years old, and he has lost everything. It is awful. But Judy, what can you control? I can control what Judy does. And at the end of the day, if I sit, I mean, of course, I'm not gonna lie. Every single day. You know what I do when I first get up? I go get a cup of coffee. I come back here and I go, arrest in such and such county. I'm begging to see his name that he's in jail. Like I'm begging. And why am I begging? Because I'm like, okay, if he just goes to jail, he'll get sober. And you know what happens? Is that's probably not the case. That's just what I think. Oh, if he goes to jail for like 6 months, then he can't get a hold of the meth and he'll get sober. And then he'll realize he lost his business and his family and everything. And he ain't got no teeth in his head. Like he's going to realize it once he gets sober. That's what my hopes are. But that's not his rock bottom. That's not his rock bottom. So I have to concentrate on my own addiction. What keeps me okay? What keeps, I don't know your name, Cheryl, Kelly, Victoria, Karen. What does the best version of Karen look like? What does it look like? Are you there? Are you there physically? Are you there mentally? Are you there spiritually? And are you there emotionally? And every day when you wake up, that's why I say you have choices in life, because you have the choice to be the best version of Karen that you can be. And by being the best version of Karen that you can be, you're going to be a better mother. You're going to be a better wife. You're going to be a better friend. And you're going to love yourself a lot better. And when you love yourself, you'll be surprised at how well you dance. Even when your brother is homeless, could be dead, you still find the strength to get up and dance because you realize what you can control. And the only thing you control is Karen. And I don't know, the best version of Judy doesn't look like the best version of Karen. Our best looks totally different because what's best for me may not be what's best for you. You know, you have to figure out, you have to get a notebook and you have to go, okay, I'm going to write down the 10 things I absolutely hate about myself. Number 1, I hate that I worry about my weight every single day. I hate that about myself. Okay, number 2, I hate that I do not openly tell people how I feel until I explode. I hate that about myself. Number 3, you have to write down everything that you hate about yourself. Like, I hate that I stay up at night and worry about my children when they're freaking grown adults. I hate that I worry about, I don't know. I hate that I don't understand the Bible, and I hate that whatever it is. I hate that whatever. Write it down. And then one by one, check it off. Okay, today, I hate whatever it is. I hate that I worry about my weight every day. Okay, Judy, you have choices. You have choice. So what causes you to worry about your weight every day? Girl, you got to dig. You got to go back to childhood. You have to go, what is causing me to worry about my stupid weight? What is causing me to do that? So then you find yourself going all the way back to childhood and you're like, I was a cheerleader my whole life. I had to wear those little skimpy cheerleader outfits. And a lot of cheerleaders have eating disorders. A lot of models have eating disorders. Why do models have eating disorders? Because they're in front of a camera and they have to be skinny. And if they gain a little bit of weight, they notice it. You know, if a model gains weight and poses, you're going to go, oh my gosh, she has gained weight. You know what I mean? That's what happens. And so I realized that the eating disorder came from me being aerobic instructor, a cheerleader, a dancer, because all these professions that I did required me to be in aerobic clothes, short skirts, all those things. It required me to look and feel a certain way. And if I wasn't skinny, I was standing in front of a class of 50 people doing aerobics in an aerobic outfit. And if I gained weight, guess what? All those 50 people knew it because I couldn't hide it with the sweatshirt. So, like, that is what I had to go figure out what caused me to have number one on my list. I hate that. And so, how do I deal with it? I have to listen, it is a daily struggle. When you have a struggle, you don't conquer it and never worry about it again. Okay? Me, not you. When I have something like that on my list, it doesn't mean that I get to mark it off and never deal with it again. It means that, okay, I went from worrying about this every day to worrying about this every other day, to worrying about this once a week, to worrying about this once a month, to worrying about this once every other month. And then what happens is it gets better. But then what happens is you get triggered. You get triggered and you go right back to, oh Lord, on top of the list is I worry about my weight every day. I'm back here. You find yourself going back to step one. But that's when it's okay. It's okay. It sucks that I'm worrying about this every day again, but I know I have these tools in my pocket to pull out to get me through it. I hope that I've made sense today. I need to get ready to go let these animals. I was long-winded today. I hope that I said something that made sense to you. And I hope that what I said helps you be the best version of you that you can be. Because I care about you. I care about your health. I care about you smiling. I care about you dancing. I say it every time we go live. You have choices. You do. You have choices. You have choices in life. You don't have to stay in a rut. You don't have to let people steal your joy. I hear my dad coming. I heard him coming. You don't have to let people steal your joy. And you know who steals your joy the most? You. You steal your own joy because you allow those negative choices to come in your life. You know, you are so strong. You are so stronger than you think you are. I promise you, you can overcome anything that you set your mind to. You can. And I don't care what age you are. And the great thing about landing here is there's a lot of backup dancers to help you be the best version of you. Because I will say, I watch other people live and people get in fights and all that stuff. I don't see it here, and I'm very thankful. That tells me that I have these backup dancers that dance and encourage you. Like I can't read everything that you're saying, but this place right here, I have been very fortunate. There's no fighting. There's nothing but people with their arms spread open going, come on. You have found a place of friendship, and I'm going to encourage you to dance. That's what I see. There's people here that get here before my live to chit chat, to check on each other. If you're looking for a friendship, usually about 6:30, people start getting on here talking, and you will meet the best friends of your life. I have met the best friends through social media that I could ever imagine. I don't want you to feel alone, because you don't have to get off your couch to have arms spread it out to you for love. You will feel love and secure right here on Sneed's Farmhouse. I promise you that. I don't have fussing and fighting here. I'm thankful, and it's because, you know what it's because of. We've built a team here. We've built backup dancers. There's not one that's greater than the other. We are all in this together, and we all struggle, and we're all here to encourage each other to dance every single day. And that is because of you. You encourage me to get up and dance every day. You think it's me. You were like, oh, do you know it's you? No, y'all have no idea. No. You are the one that encourages me to get up and dance. My nature is to lay in the bed. Promise you. You encourage me to get up and make a difference. You encourage me to keep, even though sometimes I want to dance with different shoes on, I still get up and put the boots or high heels or flats or Crocs or whatever. I put my shoes on and dance every day. It may be to a different tune, but I get up and go, okay, I got these people, I've got these followers and these subscribers that need me. I need them. I need to show up, and I need to show out, and I need to dance. Sitting it out, feeling sorry for myself because my dadgum joint's so swollen I can't even move my hand. Like, that's sitting it out. You know, you can sit and gripe, or you can grow stronger, just like my chiropractor said. And I want to grow stronger. And I grow stronger because of you. So today is Friday. It's hump day. If you're in the South, please be careful today. It is bad weather. Next week is going to be rough. So if you have a farm and your farm, please take care of your animals. I know that you will. Take care of them, because it's going to be rough. Go ahead and start preparing for these 1 digits. It's going to be rough. It always is. So today is Friday again, and I hope that today that you will enjoy your holidays. I hope that you make good decisions. Every time I talk to my kids and I get off the phone with them, I'm like, make good decisions. And they're like, okay, Mom. I'm going to tell y'all the same thing. Today, I hope that you make good decisions. Make decisions that are long lasting. Okay, make a difference in someone's life, and it will help you. I love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I might do a surprise live. I'm trying to go live more often because I want to get to know y'all. And when I get off here, I go back and read all the comments. So just know that. I love you guys. See you later.